welcome back. I'm going to be reading Philip's letter that he wrote over the course of 2 days, September 9th and September 10th, 1862. At that point in time, on those days, the Eastern Theater Antietam campaign was in Williamsburg, Virginia, and was attacked by Confederates, but the Union troops there successfully repelled the advance. On September 10th, also the same campaign in Gawley, Virginia, witnesses an attack on the Union forces by Confederates. So his letters on this particular day he wrote because he was called out to march unexpectedly. So he doesn't have much with him and had to leave a lot of things behind in the camp. So he writes his letter on a couple of torn out diary pages, which you will actually see. I have pictures of them. And he is also sick because they've been marching and they're not quite used to the weather changes and all of those things. So you'll hear a little bit of his discouragement in these 2 days of letters, actually. As I write through these things, I've been looking back at a lot of genealogy, and I was able to trace that there are 7 generations now in the direct line from Philip Woodcock. And he himself had 3 children, which I think I've mentioned, and one of them was my great-grandfather, who he had 2 children. One of his only daughter, had 8 children, and that is the missionary daughter. And so there's a lot of family that traced down. But since then, it's been my grandmother's generation, and then my mom's generation, and then my generation, and then our children, and actually there are 4 grandchildren, so 7 generations down, which is always fascinating to me. Anyways, here is the letter of September 9th, started on September 9th, and finishes up on September 10th. Hope you enjoy it. My dear wife, you may think this is a funny way to send letters, but it is the best I can do. Last Sunday about 11 o'clock we received marching orders, and leave knapsack, etc., carry nothing but blanket, haversack, canteen, and 2 days' rations, also guns and 60 rounds of cartridges, which betokened something besides a simple match. It looked like fighting, but as yet we have not had any. But we had just passed a march that I did not think of when I enlisted. We have marched night and day. Strong men have fallen down in the ranks, men who was stouter than I be. I have stood it until today. I was pretty sick of fever. I caught cold sleeping out in the open air, etc. The first lieutenant ordered us in the rear today, but we are drawn up in line of battle today, and we are resting a little, and I begin to feel better. At noon today, we were resting about 1/4 of a mile from here. I caved in, but we were called out to fight. I stuck to it, but no enemy came after all. There are over 100,000 troops near us. They stretch for miles ahead and behind us. The rebels are about 1.5 miles from here, retreating from us. I just heard, but I do not want you to be frightened and think we are going right into battle. We may be fighting in 2 hours, but I think not. I was admitted into the confidence of the commissioned officers yesterday, and they say we will not unless in a great emergency, although they talk to the privates as if he was going right into action. We are now north of the point of rocks where the rebels cross the Potomac, but I shall have to leave this until tomorrow to finish. September 10th. I woke up this morning feeling pretty tough, but I think a little better than yesterday. There was no enemy in sight or hearing this morning. There was 6 miles of artillery passed up this morning. I wished you could see a full army once we have had good opportunities to know what war is. Everything is desolate here. Land is trod down and cornfields stripped. And I must tell you how tall corn grows. It is like Ohio corn. I actually saw some yesterday, 12 feet high, but it usually averages about 10 or 11 feet. The country is not worth fighting for, but we are here now, and we will do the best we can. But I forgot to tell you how we look. Here on every side of us there are thousands of troops, and almost in sight of us I know of 1,000 of cavalry and 1 regiment of lancers, and mules we see by the 100, also baggage wagons by the miles of them. There are over 1,000 of troops directly ahead of us, so you see we are far from fighting yet. We are all prepared. We sleep in our arms every night and ready to be formed into line of battle in 3 minutes. We've been brigaded into General Bartlett's brigade and put into Major General Slocum Division, and all under General McClellan. So you will know about where to find us in case I cannot write to you. I happen to be very lucky, or I could not have written this time. You see, we left everything in our knapsacks. There was not one man that brought envelopes. He gave me an old one if I would get it apart, for it was stuck together. I left things in my knapsack that if I had known we was a-going to leave them for good, I should have brought with me. I left your likeness there, and in fact everything but my testament. I brought that, as we was just a-going to have a small prayer meeting as we started. Tell Father that Elder Sayer, the Universalist preacher that used to preach to the center, is our chaplain, but we have had no Sundays since we left Mohawk. We generally have more to do Sunday than any other day, but I must close. I would like to be home a day or two now until I get rested out. I tell you, yesterday I would have given all my bounty money to have been back home again, and it was so with the whole company. We've been rushed through like old soldiers, and oh, I was so tired, and my duties are an officer is very heavy. When I felt like falling down, I had to keep cheering the men on and keeping them from leaving the ranks. But don't you tell anyone I was homesick, for as long as I begin to feel better and getting rested, I get over it. The 43rd New York Regiment is stationed within a few rods of us. Hank Stockings, Herbert Small's wife's brother, is amongst them. He was in our camp yesterday, feeling pretty good. I tell you, the old soldiers are looking tough, all burnt up, clothes dirty and torn. I hope we will never look so. If we do, you will not know me. I am badly burnt up now. This southern sun takes bad. It burns it one day all to pieces. Now I want you to write me immediately, and if I cannot answer your letters, it will be because I have not the opportunity of doing so. I have not heard from home since we left Mohawk, and I would like to hear. Also send me 2 or 3 envelopes. I can take this book for writing paper. We probably will have to march again today, although we are settled for the day. It may be we shall not. I hope not, at least. But I must stop now. Take good care of yourself and baby, and kiss him for me, and write to me as often as you can, for I can't write again until I get some envelopes, for we shall not see our knapsacks again in several weeks, if ever at all, at least until the campaign. Now, in case of a battle here, I shall be very near it, if not in it, and I hope I shall come out all safe. If not, God will take care of me. Now, goodbye. God bless you. Direct to Sergeant P.R. Woodcock, Washington, D.C., Company E, 121st Regiment, NYV, care of Captain Campbell.